Big tech plays a game of risk and reward with AI's potential threats, while OpenAI gears up to prevent an AI-triggered nuclear showdown. As humans ponder fusing with machines to stay in the race, the White House steps in, laying down the AI safety law. Coincidence? Dive in with us and decide for yourself that and much, much more. You're listening to Geek News Central, and I'm your host, the one and only Todd Cochran. Gear up for episode 1702 this thrilling Monday, October 30th. A big shout out to our prime sponsor at GoDaddy.com, powering our geekly endeavors, grabbing their jaw-dropping deals at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. And hey, to all you awesome listeners, you're the real MVPs. Back us up at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Feeling the buzz? We're lit and live with those fresh modern apps from podcastapps.com. Join the value for value movement just by hopping onto our fresh podcast app. To our amazing listeners out there, big virtual hug. Dive into our digital hub at geeknewscentral.com. Get on board, subscribe and follow, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to the podcast on the website. Fancy a chat? Slide into our chat room at geeknewscentral.com. Excuse me, geeknews.chat. We've got that social integration going on. Got thoughts? Ping me, though, through email. That's a simple way to do it. geeknews@gmail.com. Catch me on X at Geek News, or find me lounging on Facebook. Don't forget to check out our stellar partner shows, all linked up at geeknewscentral.com. And, of course, a massive shout-out to GoDaddy, the longest-running continuous sponsor of podcasts, where savings begin here by you going over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Grab yourself a deal. Again, savings start here. A penny for a brand-new domain name. $1.95 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain. Yes, that's $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain name. Or $2.99 a month manage WordPress hosting for the first year. Again, $2.99 a month manage WordPress hosting for the first year with a free domain name. You can always get a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal business or business plus plans. That's a 1-month free trial. All of these deals, once again, can be found at geeknewscentral.com, geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Again, where savings begin. We want to thank you all for supporting the show. We're close to ending the month, so you know what that means? It's about time to reset for November, but don't worry. You still have time to get on the deals for October. Lock it in and save. And again, you save a huge amount of money by using my promo codes here at Geek News Central. Well, are you shocked? Are you shocked? I'm playing with the intro. Needs a few tweaks yet. Hope you like it. I got lots and lots and lots of great news today. I mean, if you didn't get it from the beginning, the AI stuff is leading every news story on the planet today. And we're going to go ahead and get right into the stack, not waste too much time, and dig in deep. And this is the headline that kind of blew me away. Google Brain co-founder says big tech companies are lying about the risk of AI wiping out humanity because they want to dominate the market. We already know they want to dominate the market. No news there. But are they really lying about the risk of AI? That is the question. Well, Indra Naik said big tech hope to trigger strict AI regulations, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that the president has proposed today. Big tech is lying about some AI risks to shut down competition. He told the Australian Financial Review that tech leaders hope to trigger strict regulations, and large tech companies don't want to compete with open source, he added, because open source is not a model that allows them to make a lot of money. Now, Google Brain was a deep learning AI research team that merged with the DeepMind division earlier this year. Andrew is an adjunct professor at Stanford University who taught OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. He told the Australian Financial Review the biggest tech companies hope to trigger strict regulation. And of course, in May, AI experts and CEOs signed a statement from the Center for AI Safety that compared the risk posed by AI with nuclear war and pandemics. Other AI heavyweights have issued several warnings about the accelerated development of advanced generative AI models. And governments around the world are looking to regulate AI. He said the idea that AI could wipe out humanity could lead to policy proposals that require licensing of AI, which risk crushing innovation. He says any AI regulation should be created thoughtfully, and I would add, in a way that would not allow gatekeepers, which they are a very small number. And don't get me wrong, building these large language models is expensive. Look at the billions of dollars being invested. It's huge money, lots of hardware, lots of big brains, lots of data. This is not a surprise. But at the same time, OpenAI is readying a team. Listen to this. OpenAI is readying a team to prevent AI from starting a nuclear war. Voluntary commitments are part of the company's effort to promote safety, security, and trust in AI. So it's very coincidental that all these articles pop today. They said, we believe that frontier AI models, which will exceed the capabilities currently present in the most advanced existing models, have the potential to benefit all of humanity, but they all pose increasingly severe risk. The company said in a blog post, fear-mongering. The team dubbed Preparedness. Alexander Madry will lead and will look into and figure out how to minimize risk posed by these continuous evolving AIs. These catastrophic risks include individualized persuasion, cybersecurity, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear threats, and autonomous replication adoption. Like I said before, the biggest job statement out there will be people will be hired to sit in a chair by the by the fiber cables with axes. Further, the company said it was launching the AI Preparedness Challenge for catastrophic misuse prevention. We'll offer $25,000 in API credits up to 10 top submissions, publish novel ideas and entries, and look for candidates for preparedness from among top contenders in this challenge. So you got one person who says they're fear-mongering. The other company says, now we're preparing to help prevent AI from starting a nuclear war. Then to top this all off, this is just insane. Over at Business Insider, humans could become part AI to keep up with super intelligent machine, OpenAI's chief scientist says. He said we could merge. He told the MIT Technology Review that he wasn't sure whether he would choose to become part AI. If you're building it, you better be willing to merge. And of course, Elon Musk has said Neuralink will help people merge with AI, but it's unclear if it's ever going to be possible. He says, once you overcome the challenge of rogue AI, then what? Is there even room for human beings in a world with smarter AI? One possibility, something that may be crazy by today's standards, but will not be so crazy by future standards, is that many people will choose to become part AI, a cyborg. Sutskever is currently working on OpenAI's Super Alignment project, which aims to build fail-safes to prevent superintelligent AI from going rogue. Sutskever is not the tech figure to have speculated about humans merging with AI, though it remains unclear what that would look like in practice. And of course, OpenAI has not responded for comment. Then, today, coincidence? Coincidence? I don't know about this. The president has released the AI executive order directing agencies to develop safety guidelines. This executive order builds on non-binding agreements with the White House that's made with AI companies, all the powerhouses that signed that document that I've said here a little while ago. The order has 8 goals to create new standards for AI safety and security. So, standards for AI safety and security to protect privacy, advance equity and civil rights, stand up for consumers, patients, and students, and support workers, promote innovation and competition, advance U.S. leadership in AI technology, and ensure the responsible, effective government use of the tech. Now, this to me sounds like it was written by an AI. The order has 8 goals to create new standards for AI safety and security, protect privacy, advance equity and civil rights, stand up for consumers, patients and students, support workers, promote innovation and competition, advance U.S. leadership in AI, and ensure the responsible and effective government use of the tech. The National Institute of Standards, NIST, will be responsible for developing standards to red team AI models before public release. Listen to this. Responsible for developing standards to red team AI models before public release. Department of Energy and Department of Homeland Security are directed to address the potential threat of AI to infrastructure and chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and cybersecurity risks. Developers of large AI models like OpenAI, GPT, and Meta's Llama 2 are required to share safety test results. We're not going to recall public available models that are out there, the official said. Existing models are still subject to the anti-discrimination rules already in place. To protect users' privacies, the White House has called on Congress to pass data privacy regulations. Good luck with that. The order also seeks federal support for the development of privacy-preserving techniques and technology. Part of the order plans to prevent the use of AI to discriminate, including addressing all algorithmic discrimination and ensuring fairness when utilizing the technology. Again, good luck with that. For sentencing, parole, and surveillance, it also orders government agencies to provide guidelines for landlords. Landlords? A federal benefits program and contracts on how to prevent AI from exacerbating discrimination. Agencies directed to address job displacement and produce a report on the impact of AI on the labor market. They have nary a clue what is going to happen. They have nary a clue. The AI experts have nary a clue. How can they direct? How can they address job displacement? The White House also wants to encourage more workers to work in the AI ecosystem. Well, they're going to have no choice. And ordered the launch of the National AI Research Resource to provide key information to students and AI researchers and access to technical assistance for small businesses. It also directed the rapid hiring of AI professionals for the government. No one's going to go to work for the government. They don't pay enough. How would you hire an AI professional on the government scale? Even the SES scale. How do you pay them enough? You don't. You cannot pay really good programmers enough money to stay with the government these days. You look at the government scale. Just go out and look at the GS scale. Some of you are going to go look and say, oh, yeah, that looks great. I'd like to have that job. But when you get over 150, 200,000, 200,000 plus in salaries, there's nothing in the government normal scale that will allow them to hire someone that's truly an AI professional. I could go hire and probably be a GS-15 today to be an AI professional with the government. Or maybe even SES. The administration first released an AI Bill of Rights outlining a set of principal developers of AI models should follow. Those were later turned into a series of agreements, but an executive order is not a permanent law and generally only lasts the length of the administration. I don't know how they're going to do this. How can they hire AI experts? This thing is moving so fast. It's just like Elon Musk. He's sitting with a rocket on the pad, ready to rock and roll, but he's waiting for Fish and Game. He's waiting for the FAA, the FC, everyone he's waiting on, because they don't move as fast as private industry. Government moves slow as snails. My exposure to the government work was, if you had someone that was a troublemaker, someone that was causing problems, you couldn't fire them, so you transferred them out, and usually they would end up in a higher position somewhere else. So, and don't get me wrong, this isn't the case all the time, but some of you government workers will know this, that you got the dumb leading the smart people. I don't know how they can keep up. They can't pay somebody enough. That's why when a lot of the programming that is done for the government systems, that's why they get a contract with a private company that doesn't typically have, unless it's, well, they could have salary caps even in the contract. You get ready to do a big contract with the U.S. government. You say, we're going to do this for you. You have to list every position that you're going to have, every engineer, every programmer, what level. You have to document the entire team and a salary range of each of those individuals, because you have to justify the amount of money that you're going to make the U.S. government pay. And usually, and if they're going to be a contractor just to work straight for the government, oh my goodness, that's a business in itself. Because let's say someone's getting paid in a civilian position $100,000. Let's say that's their compensation package. Of course, we know that medical, dental, 401k, all that stuff adds another $50,000 to $75,000 on top of that salary, plus the company's portion of taxes. So let's say that cost of that employee was $175. Now you got the government overhead on it. So now that cost of that employee is $250, $300 because of the multiplier. Because the company's got to make some money on this contract, right? So they got to make money on that programmer. So they got to make at least what? If that person's costing them $175, they got to at least make $100K a year off every one of those employees. Because the profit center is the employee. And, of course, the project and the overhead and everything else you bid on. So the government is broke in that you cannot pay enough competitive wages to get these people directly. I could go on for hours. Meanwhile, ChatGPT Plus gets a big upgrade that makes it more powerful and easier to use. You guys saw it in the last show. This was amazing. Specifically, ChatGPT Plus members are now able to upload various files that the chatbot can use to generate results. For instance, ChatGPT can analyze a PDF the user uploads and answer questions based on that content. And then it can be used to generate images based on a picture uploaded by the user or from the text that was created. Everything from the last show, all the show notes, everything was a combination of the article I wanted to highlight, the transcript, and an image. It created the image. The image of the last show blew me away. So this is, obviously, it's not, my show completion is slower now. My production is slower, but the product is already better. I'm looking at A/B testing on Google search results, a whole bunch of things. Got some more tweaks, learning as we go, but that's what I have to do because I'm bringing this to my podcasters at my company. It's going to change everything. You sick of me talking about this already? If you are, you're going to miss the train. Moving on. Google promises a rescue patch for Android 14's ransomware bug. After ignoring the issue tracker for 10 days, Google's getting an act together. Android 14 has this portable horrible storage bug for upgrading user. If you have multiple user accounts on your device, upgrading to Android 14 can actually lock you out, which creates an incredible number of problems which are pretty similar to getting hit with the device encryption ransomware. Bugs are always going to happen, but the big problem with this is Google has seemingly been ignoring it. And on Friday, that was written about how users have been piling up hundreds of reports for 10 days without an acknowledgement. Apparently, they finally got their teeth kicked over the weekend and issued a tracker bug and moved this up from a P2 to a P0 priority. So if you're a Pixel user, Pixel 6 and later, that upgraded to Android 14 and you have multiple users, well, don't upgrade your phone if you haven't already. Link is in the show notes about this. They're going to try to get it fixed. Moving to something a little less controversial but kind of gross. Imagine Professor Barbara Sherwood was leading a team of geologists studying a Canadian mine in 2016 when she made a remarkable discovery. The flowing water, about 3 kilometers below the surface, was between 1.5 billion and 2.6 billion years old, according to a test, making it the oldest water found on Earth. And she decided the best course of action was, of course, to take a drink. She says when people think about this water, they assume it must be some tiny amount of water trapped within a rock. But in fact, it's very bubbling right up at you. These things are flowing at rates of liters per minute. The volumes of water is much larger than anyone anticipated. Upon tasting the ancient water, she's found it was very, 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 very salty and bitter. Much more saltier than seawater. She says that was an encouraging sign because saltier water tends to be older. Now, if you're a geologist who works with rocks, have you ever licked a rock? I don't think so. Why would you? Kind of gross. Her team also found that life had once been present in the water by looking at the sulfate, the composition of salts in it. So anyway, fortunately, the scientists didn't keel over and die or convert into something that, it was just real super old salty water. Have you ever drank old water that's been on the shelf for a while? Yeah, gross, huh? Not me. But I guess if that's your thing. Any geologists listen to the show that lick rocks? More serious nature. Windows PCs are being targeted with a nasty new malware. Hackers are using a novel technique to drop ghost pulse on Windows PCs. Someone's been distributing MSIX files pretending to be popular software platforms such as Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Brave, Grammarly, and Cisco WebEx. Additional channels haven't been confirmed, but research believes it's the usual mix of compromised website SEO, poisoning, malvertising, social media, and phishing. Being a loader, the malware itself has one job, and that is to drop one of the following final payloads. A variety of malware. There's a list. Users will fall for the scam and execute the file will see a prompt with an install button. Pressing button will drop Ghost Pulse malware loader onto the endpoint. And you're screwed. So this type of thing will usually go after all the machines on your network. So be careful out there. SpaceX is launching tonight. Crew targets a new liftoff from Cape. So what time we going to go here? It's launch day for the second straight day. They postponed Starlink 6.6-25. So SpaceX will try again at just about what time is it here? Just about an hour, 7:20 Eastern, to launch 23 Starlink internet beaming satellites. So if you're listening to the show live, you'll be able to watch the launch at 7:20. And if you're along the Florida coast, you'll be able to watch it as well. It's been announced by The Verge that X is officially worse than half of what Elon Musk paid for it. Everyone knew that Twitter wasn't worth $44 billion, and Monday employees at X were awarded equity in the company at a valuation of $19 billion or $45 per share, according to an internal document. That price is a 55% discount to the original price. The fair market value share is determined by the board of directors based on a number of factors and manner that compiles with applicable tax rules. So that's just a lot of money to lose. Meanwhile, hackers have earned over $1 million at the the PWNTO, basically Pawn Town, Paul 20, I don't know, PWNTOWN Toronto 2023. The hackers just demonstrate 58 0 days that earned more than 1 million rewards. And so a lot of this was on routers. The highest award was awarded on the second day of the contest for bugs in the P-Link Amato gigabit router and one in the Lexmark CX331 AWE printer. But again, there was a whole bunch of these. And those vulnerabilities have been reported to the manufacturers, and they'll have a chance now to patch those before the stuff is released into the wild. If you live in the United Kingdom, you've always been, you know that you're under major surveillance. But the United Kingdom police have been urged to double down on facial recognition. Policing Minister Chris Philip wants to expand the use of controversial text by 50%. Using AI technology would allow for over 200,000 searches of images against police national database by May of 2024. He encourages the decrease of live facial recognition, which captures live footage of crowds and compares it with a list of wanted suspects. The technology is already being used by UK law warrant with King Charles III's coronation in May. AI technology is a powerful tool for good with huge opportunity to advance policing and cut crime. So over the weekend, I was watching a YouTube channel, and I guess, when you here in America, when you go to small claims court, you get a judgment against someone, you still have to fight for the money. But I found out in the UK, you get a judgment for money owed to you, they will send people to your home or your business, and if you don't come up with the money, they will take your car, your house belongings. They're not leaving until they get their cash or some sort of an agreement. I thought that was pretty cool. I got a couple of things from many, many years ago that never got paid here in the United States from small claims court. A little bit. Company, we're out of business. We went bankrupt. And didn't collect a penny. But it'd been nice to go over their house and pull the printer off the desk or something, Good for you, UK. And I know that probably some of you listening that live in the UK do not like those guys, but boy, oh boy, if you're the one that's getting money recovered, bravo. Boeing is investigating a ransomware attack claim. So the Lockbit ransomware gang that large amounts of data were exfiltrated from the aerospace. So they basically said that they have a huge stack of data, and they want to be paid. I've not shared any samples yet, supposedly to protect the manufacturer. So they've got a deadline. I don't know how much money they want, but it's usually millions of dollars. So those folks have been getting a lot of cash from a lot of companies. Meanwhile, Canada bans WeChat and any Kaspersky applications on government devices. WeChat is used heavily in China. And of course, Kaspersky's is a Moscow-based platform. They say they present unacceptable risk to privacy and security. WeChat did not respond. So they're going to be removed automatically on all Canadian devices. And interesting, everything going on in Israel, there's a lot of tensions there all the way across the United States, protests and so forth. Again, I stand with Israel. Have no problem saying that. But they need to get their ad serving stuff in order. Graphic Pro Israel ad has made their way into children's video games. Apparently, a child was playing a video game and got to see over a black screen a message from the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Told the first grader, "We will make sure that those who harm us pay a heavy price," followed by some shaded out stuff. So someone needs to fix that. That doesn't need to be presented to some kid at all. Stanford schooled in cybersecurity after Akira claims ransomware attack. So Akira claimed the attack on Stanford on October 27th, said it has stolen 430 gigs worth of data from the education institution. And it says it has private information, confidential documents, but has otherwise remained tight-lipped. Apparently got it from the Department of Public Safety. And again, this is another ransomware group, I do believe. The first humanoid robot factory in the United States can crank out 10,000 robots a year. Well, what is this? What is RoboFab? RoboFab is a manufacturing facility in Salem, Oregon that is set to open later this year. It's a brainchild of Agility Robotics, a company specialized in creating biped robots. RoboFab will be the first factory for humanoid robots. And it's going to be creating Digit. Digit, we've talked about, is a humanoid robot designed to carry out tasks. It's not just a machine, but as the company claims, a robotic coworker that can collaborate with humans and adapt to different solutions. These will obviously be largely commercial situations. And I'm sure Amazon will buy a bunch of those as they try to get rid of workers in their warehouses. At the same time, do you need a hand? Meet the gentle robotic arm beside by an elephant and octopus. Researchers from Switzerland's EPFL Research Institute and the Netherlands Delft University of Technology have developed an innovative and human-friendly robotic arm that takes inspiration from flexible and gentle movements of elephants' trunks and octopus's tentacles. The arm's outer structure consists of polymer elements arranged in a springy spiral, allowing to being extremely soft and pliable. So it does kind of look kind of cool. It actually kind of looks kind of Terminator-ish, if you really want to think about it. But I don't know where they're at in the development of this, but stuff has all continued to move. Meanwhile, 79% of developers at least considering a new job. More than 1,000 developers responded to this year's survey about jobs, and 79% are considering new opportunities if not actively looking. Now, it doesn't mean they're looking for something out of programming. They're looking to go somewhere else, up their skills, find something new and exciting. So I'm sure there's going to be lots of positions available in the AI space as well. I don't feel bad for Charter at all. Charter lost 1,000 customers from its dispute with Disney. And customers were unable to view ESPN or other Disney-owned channels for 10 days at the end of summer. And in total, the number 2 U.S. cable provider lost 320,000 residential video subscribers in the third quarter. That was much more than the 230,000 loss analysts expected. Charter's shares have fell 9.7% to close at $372 a share. Still, the company posted earnings of $8.25 per share, higher than the average analyst estimates compiled by Bloomberg at $8.09, but they were still punished in the stock market. California's Governor Gavin Newsom wraps up China trip with a Tesla factory visit. Is he running for president or what? Or is he giving information to the White House, or is he talking to President Obama? And who's really running the country? That's the question. Newsom was accompanied by his delegation of China-based Tesla executives. The Shanghai plant, which started rolling out vehicles in 2019, account for more than half of Tesla's global production. The governor also met with local officials, including Shanghai's mayor, and signed a memorandum of understanding on matters including environmental protection and combating climate change. Well, they'll take that and shred it as soon as he leaves. His week-long trip to China started with a climate-themed discussion at the University of Hong Kong, followed by steps in Beijing, Guangdong, and Jingzhou before ending in Shanghai. Of course, he met with President Xi Jinping in the Chinese capital to discuss issues including climate change, fentanyl, and trade. Okay. Again, is he running for president? Facebook and Instagram. This is not fake. Listen. Facebook and Instagram launch a paid ad-free subscription. If you're in Europe, you can pay a fee to get no ads across the Meta's products. The subscription is meant to address concerns from European Union regulators. Service available throughout the European Union. How much money you're earning for Facebook and Instagram is equivalent to €9.99 per month, or €12.99 per month on iOS and Android to account for additional fees for those platforms. Yes, you can start paying to get an ad-free experience on Instagram and Facebook in Europe. Would you pay for this to get an ad-free experience? I don't think I would. Popular Mac product CC Cleaner was hit by a data breach that saw customers' data stolen. They're blaming it on the Move It hack. And Popular Optimization Tool has confirmed its service has been hit. Its parent company, Gen Digital, sent an email to its customers warning the threat actors exploited the Move It flaw to steal sensitive data. In the email, the company said hackers took people's names, contact information, and information about products they had purchased. Thousands of victims. Blue Origin has pulled the sheets off its cargo lunar lander prototype. And Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin has unveiled this. Dubbed Pathfinder, landers intended to be a demonstration mission, and future version will be available to payload customers. Pathfinders also intend to demonstrate technologies including the BE-7 engine, communications, cryogenics, power and propulsion systems, and landing accuracy to within 100 meters. That's not very accurate. All of which are required for the NASA Human Landing System. Did they give us a picture? No, they didn't get a picture of it. Not in this article. Western Digital is going to split flash memory business with Kioxia after mergers talk stall. So that's going on. One thing that's very important here today, ladies and gentlemen, is that some of you have been sending sats. We appreciate it when you do. Some of you streaming the show with Satoshis using these new podcasting apps from podcastapps.com. We definitely appreciate it when you're experimenting and trying these new services. The value for value evolution is here, and we hope that you will consider becoming an insider, geeknesscentral.com/insider. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd support the show at whatever level you want. There is some set levels available there, or you can set up a sustaining donation each month, $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25, or you can do one on your own at a higher level if you so wish. It's greatly appreciated if I bring value to you, that you hopefully will bring some value back. Time, talent, and treasure. We're always looking for folks that want to contribute time and talent. whatever it may be, in helping the show. And a treasure part, of course, is the monetization part. We're fortunate to have GoDaddy here as a sponsor supporting the show. I know you all know that, and I thank you all for your continued support of the sponsor. But if it's been a while since you've been able to get an advantage of the GoDaddy deals, and you've been listening a long time, maybe you can provide value back to the show again by becoming an insider of the podcast. Again, those contributions make a great deal. Your boosts that come in via the new podcast apps really do provide great feedback that's to and up include email that comes into the show. And so a big part of this is not really the value of the sats you send, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 sats that you may choose to send to the show. That's not the whole piece of it. The piece is that instant ability to give me feedback right within the app, not having to go to email. You're listening on the apps. I love what Todd just said. Boom. Or I hate what Todd just said. Boom. You can send those boosts to the show while you're listening. That gives you the ability to provide instant feedback to me, which is value. Now, there's some value that's delivered with the sats that you send: 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. You know, those, and I think the bigger the number, the higher the amount that you send gets my attention even more. But again, if you're streaming the show and just listening to it, 100 sats a minute, 50 sats a minute, whatever it may be, that all goes in the kitty and helps me continue to do what I do here. We are at a point with everything that's going on and the increased prices of all the costs that have gone up, is that at some point here soon, there is the potential of me having to reduce the amount of paid articles that my team is writing on geeknewscentral.com. You just got to watch the budget. Got to have more coming in that's going out. And that is the key here. And I hope that you all consider becoming an insider, geeknewscentral.com/insider. Trying to up the game on the show. Hope you enjoyed today's little change up. We're going to be doing more of that as we move forward. And it is greatly appreciated for your ongoing support of the podcast, and in whatever way you can support the show, either again, time, talent, or treasure. And it's really a big deal here to me when you come in and able to support the show. And we've got a lot of insiders that are still on a monthly contribution level as well. So I want to thank you. We're going to be back with you on Thursday for another edition of this great podcast. And let me know how you like the pace, how you like how things have changed a little bit. I hope you're enjoying it. We'll see you next time, everyone. Take care.